going to start talking about probability of an event, okay? So when you think about it as a number line, like we have here, we have 0, 1/4, 1/2, 3/4, and 1, okay? So if you think of 0, okay, that's going to be impossible that it's going to happen, okay? The probability of something is going to happen is 0, okay? It's impossible. So we're going to say impossible. So never, no chance. So if somebody were to ask you if it's going to snow on a 90-degree day in July, that would be impossible. It's not going to snow, okay? So an example would be rolling a 7 on a number cube. If we go to the right, we're at 1/4. Okay, remember we have 0 all the way to 1, so now we're between 0 and 1/2, so it's a quarter. So remember in probability we can write it as a decimal, we can write it as percent. So 1/4 would be 25%, and also as a fraction. Okay? Here, like we want to say, is that if we have a 1/4 or 25% chance of something happening, we're going to say it's unlikely. It could happen, okay, but it's unlikely. So we might say maybe it'll happen, less likely it will happen, or not very likely it will happen. And the example I'm going to give you here is, I really like these snow examples. It will snow in April. Okay? So can it snow in April? Yes, it can snow. It's unlikely it's going to happen, but we have had snows in April before. So that would be a good example. It will snow in April. It's unlikely, but you know what? Maybe it'll happen. All right, we're going to go to the right, okay? Now we're at 1/2, okay? 0.5 is another way we can write it, and also 50%. So if we have a 50% chance or a 50-50, okay, we're going to say it's equal. It's an equal chance it'll happen. So we're going to say 50-50. Either way it could happen. Equally likely. And my example for you is the coin will land on heads. Because there's two sides to a coin. You have a head side and a tail side. So you have a 50-50 chance of flipping that coin and getting it to land on heads. We see a lot of 50% chance, especially when you see weather forecasts, okay? You'll say it's a 50% chance. It may or may not rain, but you have an equal chance it may or may not rain. All right, we're gonna go to the 3/4. So now we're halfway between 1/2 and 1. So 3/4 or 0.75, or we're going to say 75%. So now we moved a little bit more to the right, so we're closer to 1, okay? So we're going to say this is likely. 75%, we're pretty likely. We can still use the word maybe, but this time we're going to say more likely. At 75%, you're more likely that's going to happen, or very likely. Here's another snow example. It will snow in January. It will snow in January. It is likely it's going to snow in January because the weather conditions are favorable for snow in January. Okay? Does it always snow in January? Nope. But it's likely that it's going to snow in January. All right, we're going to move to the right, and now we're at 1. 1 means 100% or certain. Okay? At 100%, it is certain it's going to happen. Some words we can use are absolute or absolutely. Always. Definitely. And sure, it's going to happen. I'm sure you could come up with other words for certain, but we're just going to use these 4 today. An example, New Year's Eve will be on December 31st this year. And that statement is certain because New Year's Eve is always on December 31st. Just like you could say that Christmas is always on December the 25th. Those are certain that they're going to happen on those days.